as a supervisor of the engineering department of the hotel, one of the most common features that you have to deal with is tray picking up and reporting of such activity. So, as many of my projects started out, this was a rather basic project just to track deliveries and pickups going to and from the rooms. And of course, I expanded it as time went on to feature various different items to help combat some of the recurring problems we had in the department and just make things more efficient. So it started out basically with us, the server, just simply keying in a unit number when they made delivery. So in this case, 801 plus, and we can see it here on the map and also over here. And then conversely, they could simply just key in 801 minus, and it would go away. They could also select here on the map whether they went to pick up the tray at D&D or that they picked it up. And then down here, we could see in the journal everything that's occurred. We can also look back over a little bit further period of time and also just over less hours. Additionally, I had programmed in the ability for the team to have auto reminders to call the guest back to see if they're ready for the tray to be cleared, or to gauge the guest satisfaction level, or both. So we'll go ahead and get that going right now. Let's put in 11 points, and we'll wait for it to remind us to call us back. Additionally, part of this tool, the value of it was the ability for housekeeping and loss prevention of the departments to report trays that they saw in the hallway or in guest rooms, ensuring that we actually are aware that we need to pick up a tray. So basically, housekeeping downstairs, we became a big fan of this program, could simply key in a unit number, so in this case we'll do 1101, and then N for me to pick up. And then in room dining, we'd receive this pop-up indicating that we need to pick up the tray. And so we could also write in the journal entry something like picked up, but door open, door double lock, housekeeping to clear. And by doing this, of course, we could snooze, or we could say pick up done. In this case, we've now marked in the journal that there is an issue with it, and then we can see here the message has gone away, and our housekeeping hopes to be satisfied with that. But this really helped improve things because we had less complaints of trays in the hallway. Housekeepers were very pleased because the message of the tray pickup was electronically recorded and recorded in room dining. It was kind of like the hotel didn't use hot sauce, kind of like our little in room dining hot sauce. Oh, here we go. Here's our 1129 overall satisfaction callback. And so basically at this point, the person who called back the guest would say, oh, Mr. Bengali, how was everything? Great. How was the food? Oh, it was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. And, you could also ask if there's any trouble with it. You could record the guest comments here. And kind of the value in this is you can start to get a preview, perhaps, of our food quality scores for the month, or service quality scores. And here again, we could say we ignored it, we wanted to snooze it, or call back done. This guest feedback was kind of valuable because if the chef was so inclined, we could then go back and look at the end of the week or whatever period we chose to see what kind of feedback we had received on our food. So that was kind of a neat feature. As you can see here, we have the feedback going back variously, to what degree people fill it out. It's obviously apparent, but we could export this all to Excel and hand it over to the chef, so the chef could review with the team and see if there's any actions he could take to improve or any recognition he could provide for his team for doing a good job. So just kind of a neat little thing that was easy to embed in the program. Additionally, we saw a few more opportunities to use this program for other things. So we also included tip tracking as the department split tips. I saw that we would spend, only maybe five minutes or so of our time doing the table to split the tips, when I realized we could simply just put it in this program and then even email it to accounting, so it would save on paper. It would allow us to do the math perfectly every time, fill out the names for us. So even reducing a 5-minute process down to 1 minute has value for everyone, including the servers. Let's see, what else do we have here that I can show you? Another common occurrence that I saw that we could use this program to solve was purchasing. One of the issues with our department was, perhaps we ran out of stock of orange juice or something, we would just go to the purchasing cooler and grab it, and purchasing would be dissatisfied with it, of course, because my team would never. Oh, actually, pause that for 1 second. This is kind of built-in reminders that I put into the program for various things that were easy to forget but would happen at times throughout the day. So in this case, we were charged with providing the welcome beverages for the lobby at 2 times a day. So here we would have it programmed in, what needed to be done. It would pop up on our screen, remind us that we need to do it. So this was very helpful because, certain times of the day we should go check the pool to see if we need to restock towels or clear, replace welcome beverages, do lineups, pass downs, etc. So this would ensure that the staff couldn't really forget their duties because it would pop up and remind them. So getting back to the purchasing component, so again, we would have staff go and pull stuff out of the purchasing cooler, and we try to get them to write things down, but they would often forget because they'd be busy, etc. So we made it really easy for them. I just said, take whatever product it is, and we attached a barcode scanner to a computer and just simply scan it into the system. And what would happen then would they would simply scan the product in and identify the product and automatically record as that it had been taken from the storeroom, or they could change the settings of whatever transaction occurred. And then so at the end of the day or at the end of the week, whatever it was, I would then, as the supervisor, take this list and input it into the purchasing software. So we were actually allocating what was being used and what wasn't. So purchasing was much more satisfied because they knew what items were being used for our department, and my team didn't mind because it only took a second to scan the barcode in, and they didn't have to write anything down, remember to do anything, just all they had to do was remember to scan. Additionally, I used the reverse of this, which was to order products. They could just scan in a item and add it to a requisition. So you just need to order, and then say, oh, we need to order orange juice. So just pull the orange juice out and scan that in. Or they could also type it as well. But in any case, this actually really helped things out. Again, the goal is to reduce as many time-consuming tasks in the department or things that were prone to people forgetting into something really simple they could do quickly. So it really actually helped out a lot. It was pretty easy to add in. Additionally, I saw the need for the overnight operator. Our department, we would take our own orders, and overnight, sometimes the overnight server would be out doing various things and wouldn't be able to take the call, in which case the operator would take the call and say they would call the guest back and then contact the in-dining server to have the call the guest back to take the order, which I thought was rather inefficient. So I built this rather simple tool which would allow and guide the operator through taking the order. So they could type in the menu, for example, and type in a name. And it would guide them through with these prompts saying how many guests this for Mr. and Mrs. Hernandez, and they could just begin to type the order, and various things would appear to help push the order taker along. So cheeseburger, you have force modifiers pop up here, so just like American cheese, enter. And then here would be a time quotation. So the current time is 8:36, delivered by 9:06. But it gets kind of interesting. So if they wanted the burger well done, for example, that's okay. But now we see their time quotation has increased then by 10 minutes as it's a well done burger. It's going to take more time to prepare. So basically, we also had another component in here, which you can't see right now. Unfortunately, my program is scrubbed of all actual guest data. But these little dots would illuminate and scroll through various information we had on the guest in the program. So previous instances, preferences, amenities, etc. So the person taking the order could have a little bit more information about the guest and possibly use it to enhance the guest experience. In any case, at this point, the order taker would just hit send the order, which would send it over to in-room dining and then pop up on the in-room dining screen. Also initiate a prompt to inform the guest the current time is 8:37. You can expect this in your room 401 by 9:17 this afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Fernandez. So it kind of made the order taking process very simple for someone who has, probably no training in order taking. So we had one overnight operator who was very enthusiastic about it and started using it before I was actually ready for it. One night, and I didn't know I had an order, but she told me she keyed it in. So anyways, it was a really neat process. It was nice to see that when you develop something, some staff can really get behind it in a positive way. Another thing that I wanted to use this program for was to make it easier for my staff to enter in guest preferences, guest incidents. We had a great tool at the hotel that would allow us to, see guest preferences and distribute amenities and all sorts of things on a worldwide scale. Unfortunately, the program was rather cumbersome to use, took a while to log in. No one was very enthusiastic about using it, and we only had a certain number of licenses. So in practice, it wasn't very practical. So basically what I did, if I had a license for this program, was I told my staff, you can just simply click this in the program, enter all the information, you know, go with Jasper Mark, my name, and then the guest name, email address if you have, and then what type of thing it is, preference, incident, anniversary, etc. And you would then be able to just click OK Save, and then again, like this, like the other process, I as the supervisor would then once a week or once a day go into the database and hand this over to the guest recognition team or enter in the instances into the system myself. So by doing it this way, we saw a dramatic increase in the number of preferences and instances and biographical information received about the guest because it was so simple. It wasn't, having to fill out a paper form or log into a really cumbersome system. So that was another feature of this program that we saw a lot of successes with. And then here you would see the guest profile, and you could start to take a look at the information as well. In any case, I believe that covers everything in this program. We used it for took me about a few months to build, and we used it for about 2 to 3 years, I think, until I departed the hotel. It's continued for quite some time after. But anyway, it was a huge, tremendous help for us in the department. It really boiled things down and made it simple. So I hope you enjoy the demonstration of this program, and I wish you the best of luck at whatever property it is that you look at.